Hey, it's me, Bad V. I'm back. I just today got discharged from hospital for my bilateral mastectomy and straight to implant reconstruction. I went in at 6 a.m. I was first off the block. I had to fast from midnight the night before and couldn't drink water from 5 a.m. So I got up at 4 a.m., had some water, and then had a shower because I didn't know how long until I'd be able to have a shower. I did a questionnaire, I got changed, I was in the waiting area pre-surgery, and then I spoke to the anesthesiologist. They were really nice. So the plastic surgeons drew where my breasts would be when I was standing, because obviously when you're lying down things splay. And then after they were happy with that, I met the breast surgeon. It wasn't the person who did my sentinel lymph node biopsy, but a separate surgeon who's also excellent. I guess I got in at about 8, maybe. I don't know. There was no clock and I didn't have my watch or glasses. And I woke up in the ward, or the waiting area to get to the ward, at about 1, maybe. And then I got to go to my hospital room. I was so pleased I got a single room, obviously the nature of my surgery. I was wearing a bandage that looked like a cool boob tube, and I wasn't in that much pain. I was pretty groggy. I felt kind of a little blur. I got to my hospital room. I had some water and some snacks. I think they were sandwiches. Then I felt nauseous and I threw up. It was a lot. And then I said, no, I feel fine. I just needed to throw up once and then I'll be fine. But then I had dinner. Then I threw up again. So they gave me an anti-nausea medication. They took my obs basically every hour. So my pulse ox with my finger, my blood pressure, which is always low, also my temperature to make sure there was no infection. And I also got IV antibiotics every few hours. Like my sentinel lymph node biopsy, I had to have a clexane injection. I had to have a subcutaneous clexane injection in my stomach. And they hurt so much. It's not the fact that it's a tiny needle, it's the liquid, I think, because it bruised. So the first one wasn't too bad. Second one hurt so much. I'm pretty sure it went into the muscle. Oh, also I have drains. So originally I had 4 drains, 2 in each side, but I got 2 taken out the second day after surgery. So this is one drain. This is what they look like. This is actually not that full, but yeah, they would fill up pretty well. So I have to carry these around. I've been carrying them around in a plastic bag at the hospital. They encourage you to walk around from the second day. So I did about 3.88 Ks just walking the wards. So they took out 2 of my drains. One of them didn't hurt. I didn't really feel it. But the other one, it hurt coming out on my right side. They also took off the bandages on the second day, and I got to wear my mastectomy bra with dressings inside it, which is really tight, and it kind of hurt when I was breathing in and you feel hunched over. I didn't have the strength to do it up at the front by myself as well. I needed a nurse's help. I couldn't shower, and luckily I was able to have a sponge bath that I did myself, so I gave myself a horse bath, and that's just what I'll be doing until the drains are out. But today was the third day after surgery, and I guess I did really well because they let me go home. Last night was not good. So the night before my surgery, I slept about 4 hours because I had to get up early and I was nervous. And the night of my surgery, I just couldn't sleep and they kept waking me up for odds. And last night I was so ill. So I was cold. I had been constipated because the anesthesia makes you constipated. So I hadn't pooped since Thursday, and this was Saturday night. And I felt like I was going to throw up all at the same time. Finally, I did sort of start dry retching, and it looked just like liquid that I threw up. And then I finally went to the toilet because my stomach was hurting so much, but I got diarrhea. Felt way better afterwards though. Luckily, one of my friends came to visit and gave me a care package with all these snacks. So I had a banana and a muesli bar because otherwise I would have been starving, and breakfast would have been at 8, way too late. It's so funny because I'm allergic to buckwheat and penicillin. And they said on my meal chart, regular meal, but allergic to wheat. So they gave me the gluten-free meal. And I said, no, I'm allergic to buckwheat, and buckwheat is gluten-free. So it's more likely to be in gluten-free meals. And they gave me a piece of bread, and it was brown bread, and it was highly likely that this had buckwheat in it. So it was kind of a faff, but they finally changed it over. So they said, other allergen buckwheat. And, I eat dairy, but in foods, I don't like drinking milk by itself. So for example, for teas or for cereal, I have soy milk, and that was kind of a faff, but I got it in the end. But yeah, so the third day after my surgery, I was able to be discharged at about 11:30. They got my scripts together, which was harder on the weekend because there's no one around. Technically, I wasn't discharged because I have hospital at home where a nurse will come every day to check on me, empty my drains, and I got medicine taken home. So I didn't have to pay for it. So this is what I have. I have some cephalexin. So the antibiotic, the IV antibiotic that I was given at the hospital was cefazolin, I think. So this is cephalexin because I'm allergic to penicillin, obviously. I've got to take this 4 times a day until it's finished. I also got given some ibuprofen, which is nice. Some Panadol, which I have here. So hospital Panadol is disgusting. It's the little round tablets that are super powdery like they had in Japan, and they just make me gag. But anyway, I have proper caplets here. I also got given some endone, which is oxycodone. It makes you drowsy. So yeah, I don't take these ones that much because they're quite strong. So they're all my meds. The way I feel right now is just, I'm not in pain. I'm trying to do my physical therapy exercises. So I'm on a pillow and they tell me to walk around, and I've been walking, but I should be stretching out my arms, keeping them shoulder height, and rolling back my shoulders because you tend to hunch over and it's quite tight. So my gummy bear implants, they're round silicone implants, and they went under the muscle. So I was really lucky because remember how I said I wanted to have really big boobs? So obviously it wasn't possible because I'm kind of small and I had small boobs. So it means I didn't have a lot of skin. But when they did the incision, it was just on the side and kind of around my nipple. Because they could keep the nipple, they said I had a lot of skin and it was in good condition. So my plastic surgeon was able to go from 250 to 300 mils, which is actually bigger than what I started with. So I had a Google, and it's really hard to see what your cup size would be if you'd had a mastectomy, because obviously if you had a breast augmentation, you have your own boobs already. But with the mastectomy and straight to implant reconstruction, all you have is the mils in the implant. So 300 mils is a small c. So I'm really happy with that. They look really good. I'm pretty pleased. And I think that's about everything. I had a really nice room. It was a single room. The hospital had been newly renovated. I had an amazing view of the ocean. Had my own bathroom. I was right next to the nurses' station, so they'd come straight away if I needed them. Yeah, overall it went really well, and I'm pleased with how things went. I'm actually surprised it's not as bad as I thought it would be. So originally I was concerned. Actually, I was really worried, very anxious that I wouldn't be able to wipe my butt or, wipe if I went to the toilet, but it's totally fine. I have pretty good movement and I can carry some things. So I've just got to keep up with my PT exercises. And hospital at home will come and see me once a day. They'll empty my drains. Sometime during this week, I think I'll get a call to come in to see the surgical team, and they'll sort of reassess my wounds and drains and everything. I can start showering properly once the drains are out. I am really glad that I was able to have this surgery and everything went really fast considering the timeline, and it was streamlined. And I think the public health system in Australia is just exceptional. It's unlike anywhere else in the world, and we're really lucky. I feel really lucky and privileged. And from now on, I guess I have to have my Herceptin infusion, so I've got 15 to go, and I've got monthly Zoladex and daily Exemestane pills for about 5 years. Oh, some tips for hospital would be take lots of button-up shirts and easy to pull on underwear, easy to pull on pants. So nothing like leggings or high-waisted undies that are really tight, because they're just impossible. Also take butt wipes. Also take panty liners in case you can't shower or can't change as much as you'd like to. Also have a really long charging cable. So the way the hospital bed is, the plugs are always kind of really far back and your phone will never reach. Your phone will be your biggest source of entertainment, so you need to be able to use it, and when it's charging, it's super annoying. Yeah, I think just don't be afraid to advocate for yourself. So whenever I was nauseous, I just told them I was nauseous and they were able to give me, I guess, IV metoclopramide. But yeah, the nurses were really lovely. Everyone was so caring and I feel really grateful. So plastics and ortho were in the same post-op ward, and ortho, I thought it would be filled with young sports people, but it was not. It was all old people with broken hips, which was quite sad. And apparently that was busy, so it's hard work for them. And yeah, the food was, so I think the first day I had quiche like last time, the bacon and egg quiche thing, threw that up, and the creme brulee, that was delicious. Second day I had a choice of fish cakes, egg salad, or cottage pie. Eggs seem disgusting to me now since cancer, and I just can't eat them. And just fish cakes, that sounded disgusting. So I thought cottage pie, I can't go wrong. It's basically a shepherd's pie with no bottom, like no pie crust. But it was disgusting. It must have been what dog food tastes like. Breakfast yesterday was cornflakes, and I hate cornflakes, with the gluten-free bread that definitely had buckwheat in it. Today it was Just Right, which I like, soy milk, white bread with vegan margarine, and plum jam. Not the biggest fan of plum jam, but it was there, so I ate it. Yogurt, I love yogurt. Usually I have vegan yogurt, but beggars can't be choosers. Also, a terrible, packet coffee with soy milk. And then I got to come home before lunch, and then I ordered myself on Uber Eats a giant pho because I just really needed some Asian food, but it was massive. It was definitely an extra large size. I ate it all, but yeah, I still feel full, and that was hours ago. So now my home care just has to be, walking when I can, taking it easy, keeping up my fluids, keeping up my meds, and resting when I can, eating when I can. But that was my experience getting a bilateral mastectomy, direct to silicone under the muscle implants. Stay tuned for more cancer things.